All right, everybody. Hello, hello. It is Tuesday. My name is Jessie from Wild Jessie Consulting, and I am on here on Tuesdays at 1 giving you some live advice. I call it Small BS with Jess, where I give you small business strategies for your small businesses, your brick and mortar businesses, entrepreneurs, service providers, anyone who is trying to master their marketing on a budget and needs all the tips that they can, and they're struggling with searching through Google and YouTube and TikTok to figure it all out piece by piece. I come here every week and give you just some tips and strategies that hopefully will help you out, that I learned as I went along starting out my business in social media marketing and content creation. So I've been talking a lot about content creation this last week, and I noticed a lot of people come to me and they just feel overwhelmed by this process, right? You're trying to make sure that you're showing up everywhere for everyone, that you are, really trying to get everything out there and let everybody know that you're there while still showing up every day. And it's a struggle, and it can very easily get overwhelming. If you end up catching this and you are live and you jump in, go ahead, do hashtag live so I know you're here live. If you catch the replay, go ahead, do hashtag replay so that I know who catches these afterwards. It's always fun to see. And I'd like to know if you found content creation overwhelming, because it is definitely something that people have come to me with. And so today I want to give you some tips and strategies on dealing with that overwhelm, or basically making it so that you don't get overwhelmed in the first place, and it makes it a lot easier for you to go through and make sure that you're still giving all that great content and showing up all the time without burning out in the end, because a lot of times that will lead to that'll lead to breaks, because you feel like you just need a break and you'll cut yourself off, negative feelings about yourself, and all of those are things that we want to avoid. And these tips will help you out. So the first one is one that I am always a big fan of, and that is using a planner. Now, I've advocated for different planners in the past. I have definitely done that, and I love using a planner, not just because I love how pretty they are, so I will randomly collect them and maybe not even use them, but I'll put all my information in there. But definitely when you have a planner, it just organizes your thoughts and your day better. So I actually utilize my planner in two different ways, and what I'll do is I'll make a picture too. But I have my whole month that I have planned out, and then I'll put down in little check boxes on my monthly planner the daily posts that I have to make sure that go through for different companies that I work for, and for my own companies, because I have several pages that I manage or that I help people with. And so I want to make sure that I'm doing it on time, and I'm doing it on the right days, and I don't forget. So I use my planner and I use my monthly space to actually write down all of those, all of the posts and all the things. So if I'm going to do a live, I make sure that I put it in my planner. If I'm going to do a reel or a story that I want to do, I'm going to make sure that I'm at least just going to do that inside of my my planner, so that way I know that it's there. And then I just make sure that I go back to it each day and I check it off, and that I got all of those boxes checked. And so that's the first way, because I love planners, and there are definitely different ones that you can get. But I mean, like, this is one that my awesome little brother got me, and I really love it because it's got my daily, it's like an appointment book during the week, and then it has blank spaces in the month that I can put that. The next one is using apps to help with your posting and automating your content. And this can be apps like Planoly. I love Planoly. You can get a lot out of the free programs that you get with it. Canva you can use now, where you can actually create your content inside of there and post directly from the app. It's just nice to have those set up. I know in Planoly, like, you can actually create like your sets of hashtags that you use more often. I would suggest changing up some of them. So maybe putting putting like your basic ones that you use all the time. So like for mine, it would be Small BS with Jess, OMG, Wild Jessie Consulting. Those are the ones that I always have on the bottom of my posts, but then it leaves me space where I can put in 10 that are specific to my topic, or whatever product or service is going to be featured inside of that video or that post. And that way it goes further and goes into farther places. But yeah, so Planoly, things like that can definitely work. But you can even use things like Google Docs. I'll create a drive. When I have a client, I'll create a drive for them, a drive or a folder in my drive for them. And inside of there, I'll have, like, for 2 weeks at a time or a month at a time, I'll have all of their posts that are going to be there. And then all of the content ads that are going to go with it. So they can see all of them there. And anything that we might be putting out through the next 2 weeks or the next month, I have it all there so they can see it all ahead of time. They can make sure that the information in there is correct. And then that way, all their posts are all planned out. And, if you want to use a scheduler and you can schedule them out, you can schedule them directly through your Facebook app or, Instagram. I know Facebook and Instagram have been working together but you can schedule those in your Facebook, your business account. And then that way you're not like chomping and wondering, did I get that stuff out? Did I push that stuff out today? Is there something that I forgot? You know that it was taken care of. And then that way you only have to work on doing your daily engagement, which is something I'm going to be talking about in another video coming up soon too. But yes, use your apps and use those things to try and help. And then the other one, which I kind of started talking about a little bit already, which is batch your content. Okay, batch your content. So I talked a little bit about that, like when you use your videos and you break it down, you can plan that out ahead of time. So like, I know I'm going to do this video ahead of time. I plan some of these videos out. My videos, I try to plan them out 4 or 5 weeks in advance sometimes. And I know that I'm going to have those little points for you guys. So what I'll do is I'll make sure that all of my posts through the week either deal with the screenshots for this. It either has, the video or the audio pulled out from it, or that I can use on different posts. I can use it on stories. I can use it on reels, or I can make, different posts that have nothing to do with the images or pulling from this, but have to do with the subject. So I have my one subject line, which this week would be creating content without getting overwhelmed. And then all of my posts for the week would go around with that. So I can create those posts. I can put them all inside of a planner or all inside of like my own, my own system that I find, and then make sure that those get posted every day. And it's really going to take a lot of that stress, a lot of that second guessing. You can sit down in 2, 3, 4 hours and create all your content for your week or for your next 2 weeks or whatever, and then just know that you're good. And you can leave spaces in there for times that you're going to go live, or times that you want to do like impromptu stuff or sharing other people's stuff. You can just create a base. So you can have, okay, at least 2 posts a week are going to be scheduled out, and then I'm going to have one that's going to be like a post that's coming out from me, whether that's a live or something that you just want to impromptu, especially if you're a service or a product provider that goes off of like what's in right now. It might be nerve-wracking for you to try and plan your content out super far ahead of time. But if you're a business or a service provider that constantly deals with the same types of things, and say you wanted to do a tip every week, once a week, and then you wanted to do something about you and your company every week, those are 2 posts right there a week that you can continuously have going. And then that leaves you room to have at least 1 post a week that is something, dealing with a trend or dealing with whatever's happening in current events or anything right now. So yeah, I would definitely try these out. Let me know what you think. I always love hearing if any of these tips work for you, if you guys use any of these strategies, or if you need any help with anything else. You can always get a hold of me. You can DM me. You can message me. My email has been scrolling around the bottom here. It's jessie@wildjessie.com. You can also check out my website, www.wildjessie.com. And always reach out if you need any help with figuring out how to batch your content, or continuing with content creation ideas for you and your company. I am always here for you. All right. You guys have a great Tuesday, and I'll be back next week with some more BS. All right. Have a great week.